Good morning, students of the VA. On behalf of the principal, I welcome you to junior high school, Juan de Dios Paredes. My name is Armando Zamorano. This morning I'd like to discuss the importance of lesson planning and present the basic elements of a lesson plan. Perhaps we can leave any questions you may have until the end of the presentation. With 4 years of EFL teaching and in process of this VA certificate, I feel like I am finally moving from amateur to experience in my ranking as a teacher. One of the things about developing new skills, occasionally they have huge insights that put a whole bunch of different experiences and lessons into context. Something will click, and then everything will make a lot more sense than it did before. I read somewhere the other day that the world's best teaching conditions are in Singapore. Now that's an outstanding claim. That means Singapore is doing more for EFL than anywhere in the world. To move on, the insight I've had most recently, and the one I want to share with you today, is the importance of a really good lesson plan. First of all, a planned lesson is just better. Not all planned lessons are fabulous, and not all unplanned lessons are a disaster. But even a bad lesson will be bad planned, and even a great lesson can be a greater with a plan. If you're a good teaching unplanned lessons, you will be even better at teaching with a plan. In some way, kids manage to notice when the teacher doesn't really know what to do. If you show one side of weakness, they will pounce. A lesson plan keeps you on track and keeps kids on track, but it also helps outside the context of a lesson itself. Lesson planning lets you track progress and problems. With planned lessons, you will have actual paperwork of everything you have taught, so you can refer back to it later. If kids are learning a particular point, you know which lesson plan to amend, which helps you learn from your own mistakes and missteps. If kids learn something really well, you can look at the lesson and figure out what about it really worked. You can start to learn to be a better teacher overall and for each particular class, and you don't have to do it via memory. Lesson plans let you show off what you taught. They're good for your teaching portfolio. They make great blogs pop, and they're great for showing others, teachers, the director, the students' parents, etc., what you do with your time. If you have a really great one, you can share it with other teachers and they can benefit. People will think you are magically organized. But perhaps even more important than showing off to others is showing off to yourself. Lesson plans give you not just a sense of accomplishment, but something tangible that reflects it. A lesson plan from a lesson that went really well is like a personal award certificate. And since lesson planning helps you keep track of words and what doesn't work, your lesson plan will get better and better, feeding into a renewing sense of success and accomplishment. Research shows that these kind of small accomplishments can increase your motivation, productivity, and satisfaction. So many teachers struggle with motivation and with having no real feedback from the kids or the test. It's incredibly hard for us to know how we are doing, but creating lesson plans and then assessing how the lesson plans went. Not just the doing, but the documentation are actually surprisingly powerful motivators. Each lesson plan sets a discrete achieved goal, teaching the target language for the lesson, which can aim for during the presentation, basis, and judge the success of during the production, basis of the lesson. This fits in perfectly with the framework of creating discrete tasks and tracking accomplishments. I can tell you from experience that planning a lesson, having it go well, and then feeling like I've learned something in addition to teaching something is the biggest source of happiness and motivation as a teacher. When I can plan a lesson, the motivation breaks away very, very quickly. and you need that daily boost, and I think we all do, planning and assessing your lessons is the way to go. And then at the end of the year, instead of asking yourself if you made a difference, you can point out to a big giant stack of papers your lessons that show exactly the difference you made. Plan your lessons. It will do wonders for your students, and it will do wonders for you both in and out of the classroom. There is no universally agreed on structure for a lesson plan, but I will express what you will need to really make a decent lesson plan. To turn to the basic structure of a lesson, there's a model for lesson planning called WIPPEA. The WIPPEA model stands for warm-up, I for introduction, P for practice, E for evaluation, and A for application. It's a lesson plan model that represents a continuous teaching cycle in which each learning concept builds on the previous one, serving as an instructional roadmap for instructors. Warm-up. Warm-up assesses prior knowledge by reviewing previous materials relevant to your current lesson. Introduction. Introduction provides a broad overview of the content of concepts to be taught and focus the learner's attention on the new lesson. Presentation. Presentation teaches the lesson content and concepts. Practice. Practice models the skills and provides opportunities for guided practice. Evaluation. Evaluation assesses each learner's attainment of the objects. Evaluation. Evaluation assesses each learner's attainment of the objective. To enable you to think about your teaching in a systematic way before you enter the classroom. The outcome of your planning is coherent framework which contains a logical sequence of tasks to prepare the field for a more effective teaching and learning. Plans only express your intentions. Plans are projects which need to be implemented in a real classroom with real students. Many things may happen which you had not anticipated. In the end, you need to adapt your plans in order to respond to your pupils' actual needs. Thank you for your attention. I will now answer any doubts or questions you may have.